met maybe other actors that you've never met before, people you liked or shows you liked?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually got the pleasure to meet Jennifer Morrison yesterday, who is so weird that we have one of our best friends. We have a mutual best friend. So I finally went up to her and I was like, hey, I think one of your good friends is one of my good friends. It was lovely to meet her, and she's obviously extremely talented. And a couple others, Diego, who I was a fan of on Homeland, and several others. Many talented people here. It's cool.
You were telling us the other night this great story about how you once got confused with a real doctor paramedic. Can you tell that to me again?
Yeah, sure. So, you know, you had asked this question, does anybody ever confuse it to be like a real paramedic or doctor? And I was at a play in Chicago, and I was sitting in the front row, and unfortunately this woman in the audience had passed out from something. She'd fainted, and the production stopped, and the stage manager went on the PA and said, excuse me, is there a doctor in the house? Is there a doctor in the house? And literally about 30 people or so, like a third of the audience, all looked at me, and they're in the front row. The lights are up in the house, and I was like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll call 911. But eventually 2 paramedics came and escorted the woman away, and she was fine, thank God. But it was a very weird experience to be perceived as somebody that you're totally not, you know? To say, I'm playing a character, and sometimes people forget that line of reality and fantasy.
Are you ever on the set when they have the big fire scenes? Have you ever been able to see what that production entails?
Yeah, well, so my character, Gabriella Dawson, she actually wants to become a firefighter, and she undergoes this firefighter test. I don't know how far you guys are, so I won't tell you exactly what happens, but I have seen on set, we have something called the burn stage, where it's just, they take, like, so if this is, so you see this wall here, so they'll basically line it up with pilots, and they'll burn the wall. Actually, with fire, and then you have to go right through it or between it, and so we'll have basically these mazes of fire in order to show an interior fire scene. It's really crazy and hot. It is hot.
You were mentioning before how much you love Chicago. What about the cold? That's got to be hard.
Yeah, the cold. What does Jason say? What did he call it? He said Chicago's a diva. She's on all of these great things, but she can be a real cold bitch. And I love that. I love when he says that, because it's so right. I mean, we had this crazy polar vortex, as everybody knows, and I mean, we were shooting in negative 14, 15 degree weather. I think there was one day that Chicago PD couldn't shoot on a Monday when we got back from a break because it was so cold that the equipment wasn't working. So that's how it is. It's great.
All right, thank you. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.